Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm still exploring the erasure of the Igbo presence in Lagos. Let us call a spade a spade. The owners of the city of Lagos, the Yoruba people, have taken a decision. Let us call a spade a spade. They have taken a decision to curb the Igbo presence in Lagos. I don't know when they took this decision, but manifestations of the decision became apparent many years ago. We all heard about the threat that Igbo should be drowned in the lagoon. We also heard about the threat about those who would refuse to intermarry, what will happen to them. Then, during the last elections in Nigeria, Igbos were forced from voting. One gentleman that visits this space was saying that Afeni Ferres said that Peter Obi should be voted for. Who denies that? Ayo Adebanjo said that Peter Obi should be voted for the Igbo candidate, but it does not deny that Igbos were stopped from voting. And that it does not disprove that a Yoruba candidate whose mother was Igbo was serially accused of not being a Yoruba, even though fully he's not Igbo. The father is Yoruba. Be it as it may, let us face the facts. The Yoruba have made up their minds that Igbo presence in Lagos and other parts of Yoruba land has to be curbed. And the ongoing one now is the renaming of street names from Igbo to Yoruba. And I repeat, I support what the Yorubas are doing. I support what the Yorubas are doing 100%. If this was what they did between 1966 to 1970, they would have been my favorite people today, but their leadership participated in genocide, in exterminating the Igbos, which they saw as a threat. They saw the Igbos as a threat and participated in killing them. If you want to know what I'm talking about, read the biography of Awolowo called Awu and see how he saw the Igbos then. And see how he incited the Yorubas against the Igbos. It is in the biography. So, if the threats will not go beyond telling the Igbos to leave, because as far as I'm concerned, what the Yorubas are doing is they are, without violence, telling the Igbo people, you have a country called Igbo land, focus on it. Forget about whatever the laws of Nigeria say. Forget about whatever people think that a country exists that is called Nigeria. Every section of Nigeria looks at Nigeria the way they wish. There are Nigerians that see Nigeria through the prisms of Sharia. They are Nigerians, full Nigerians. There are Nigerians like the Yoruba who are clear that you cannot be a good Nigerian if you're not a good Yoruba man. And the best of the Yoruba, as of today, among them is included Wole Soyinka. He said that if Yoruba culture and tradition says that a non-Yoruba cannot be a market master in Yoruba land, everybody should respect that. What he's also telling you is equivalent to what the people that brought Sharia made it a producer of criminal law, criminal legal jurisdiction or jurisprudence in Nigeria are telling you are the same. Wole Soyinka is telling you that Yoruba culture is superior to Nigerian culture, and I support him. The Igbo should look inwards too. They have a country, but if they keep on neglecting that they have a country, they will lose that country, and then others will tell them what it costs to live on their lands. So, the Yorubas, you have my support for subtly, directly, indirectly telling the Igbo people, look towards your own homeland. If you want to name 1 million streets with Igbo names, do that in your own homeland. It's not a bad thing. So I raised a posters to this effect saying that migrations of the Igbos, are not very healthy. And a friend of mine, who happens to be one of the responsible friends I have, interjected by saying that migration is natural. Probably he has not looked at migrations in Nigeria to see that what is happening in the case of the Igbos is not normal. It's not natural. Because he claimed that there are at least 1,000 Yorubas in his hometown. And I asked him, what is the number of everybody in your hometown? Because I know he exaggerated. Onitsha and Enugu and Abando were mega metropolises in Igbo land. And I'm assuring you that none of them will have up to 1,000 Yorubas. But the hamlets in Yoruba land will have, each of the hamlets in Yoruba land will have over 50,000 Igbos. I'm not exaggerating. Places that you won't believe that human beings exist in Yoruba land will have 50,000 Igbos. So what's happening is a hemorrhage. The land is hemorrhaging the Igbos, vomiting them. But because this brother is a responsible person, we could talk. He's not like one idiot, an Igbo that came to my timeline the other day and said I should return from the US. But because Croft is responsible, we could talk. So I assured him that migration of the Igbos is something we need to be concerned about. Not only because it empties Igbo land of people. And these Igbos that he thought are migrating, if you look at the quality of lives they have, the places they go to, you weep. I have friends who are lawyers who died in the streets of Lagos due to poverty. Can you believe this? Professionals who would be alive today if they had stayed in our hometowns, had become gentlemen, lawyer, farmers. And I went further to tell, because he wanted to know why our people are migrating, and I told him why we are migrating. Due to so many assaults on the nation of the Igbos, the Igbo society is not functioning today. That is why the Igbos are living like mad, imagining that where they are going, they would find peace and security. If a spade is not called a spade, you cannot solve the problem. This is why the Igbos leave the rainforest and migrate into the deserts infested with terrorists, because the society is no longer functioning. But this is a separate subject which we will get to on another occasion. I want to dwell on a part of this presentation that Igbos need to be aware of. That's your brother and sister in America, in Canada, in the UK, in continental Europe, in Asia, are not in paradise as you think. You that still manage to live in Enugu, Owerri, may have a higher standard of living than that your brother in the US. But because traditionally the Igbos believed in helping one another, so he listens to your requests and tries to accommodate them. But if you would believe me, believe that your brother is not living off the fat of the land. He's doing so many things, accommodating so many things he would ordinarily not accommodate, but he's doing those things to make you comfortable. And everybody will not be honest enough to tell you the truth about themselves. So, a lot of your brothers and sisters that are migrants, who have become citizens of the developed countries, you know what they do? They engage in what the Igbos call Amado Uwa Judge. And you think they are comfortable. So, what is the way out? The Igbo people have to rebuild their society so that it will become functional again. I don't see this happening soon, but we can at least produce a blueprint. We can at least do what? Produce a blueprint and set something in motion so that in the next 50 years, we will begin to see the rubrics or the basis, the platform for a society that will be healthy. A society that will not constantly have people that will be thinking of living and living and living. And subscribe, ask your friends to share the video. It's not professionally produced, but as you can see, it contains the kind of information you find nowhere else in the world. Thank you.